Alright, we are back from the field into the lab. So in order to process these samples, we need a few things. First off, gloves. Whenever we're in the lab or dealing with samples, you always want to wear gloves, both to protect yourself and to make sure we're not cross-containing the samples, and to make sure that we're not going to contaminate them. For each of these samples, we're going to be adding one collard packet. So each of these packets has a proprietary mix of ingredients, which is basically going to allow the E. coli to grow, and then they will start to reflect UV light, and so they'll actually change colors when we expose them to UV light later, so we can count them. We're going to plate each of the 10 samples into one of these trays. It's a pretty simple process. First off, we want to make sure that the sample is well mixed. There's a little extra here, so we can dump that out. You might have noticed that our lab is actually a closet that we've converted to the lab, but it works pretty great. Alright, once we have about 100 mils, a little extra is okay. Take our packets, add the reagent, make sure we get all of it, and then give it a shake. And once this settles out and is well mixed, then we'll pour them in these trays. But in the meantime, I'm going to run all these and then I'll show you the trays. Alright, now that we've added our color to each of the samples, label the plate packs. I'm going to carefully, mostly carefully, bend these guys out. Be careful not to touch the inside. This one's being difficult. And just pour our sample in. And it's kind of like pouring the beer. You don't want it to be foamy. You don't want to get any air bubbles stuck in any of these little compartments. Okay. Now look at this, and there's a couple air bubbles down here, so we just tap those out. It doesn't have to be perfect. The beauty with this IDEX system is that it kind of does all the measurements for you. So each of these little bubbles are identical volumes. So once we have all the bubbles out, take it, carefully lay it down in this tray, line up all the slots, there we go. Once we have that settled, then we put it in the laminator. We wait. Alright, and out comes our first sample. There we go. Like that, make sure all these are filled in, looks good. And we pop in the oven, and this will be ready in 24 hours to read. Alright, one down, 9 more to go. Alright, we are back. It's been 24 hours, so now it's time to read our results. So we're back in the lab, gloves are on. Go ahead and reach into our incubator and grab our samples. So this color test will tell us two things. If the sample has turned yellow, that means there are bacteria present. So we would expect in the natural environment for pretty much there always to be some bacteria. So in all these samples, yes, we have bacteria. That's what we expected. And the cool thing about this system is that not only will we know that there are bacteria present, but we'll also be able to know if there are E. coli bacteria present. So IDEX has developed a system where with this reagent they've added, these tests will actually glow if there are E. coli bacteria there. So what we can do is bring in our black light, turn off the lights, and you can see in this sample pretty much every single one of these little squares are glowing. So this is a very, very high level of bacteria. And we can see throughout our samples we have a lot of bacteria. We were sampling up in the headwaters. This one's actually completely maxed out. So this is over 2,500 colonies per 100 mil. And that is well over the limit, which for swimming is about 126. So we got some really high numbers. I'm going to process the rest of these, and then we'll be reporting this to DEQ in a few weeks once we collect data from a few other sites. Thank you so much. Have a great day.